is the state of being safe. It refers to the condition of being protected against physical, social, emotional, or other types or consequences of accidents, harm, or any event considered non-desirable. Safety is also the control of recognized hazards to achieve an acceptable level of risk. Worldwide, countries pay utmost attention to ensure safety standards are met in all sectors. Medication safety prevention and control, health quality evaluation, road safety, and workplace safety, amongst others, are strategically looked into to protect lives and properties of the people. Workplace safety involves creating a safe working atmosphere, securing and safeguarding the lives of the employees or workers. It ensures that an employee feels secure about undertaking his routine task with complete determination and confidence. Workplace safety aims at eliminating the health risk involved in a particular job and hence makes the job profile a secure option for interested candidates. According to the International Labour Organization, the ILO, statistics indicate that one worker dies every 15 seconds worldwide. 6,000 workers die every day, and more than 2 million workers die annually as a result of work-related accidents and diseases. The ILO estimates that occupational accidents and diseases result in an annual 4% loss in global gross domestic product, or about 2.8 trillion US dollars in direct and indirect cost of injuries and diseases.
The International Labour Organization always come up with these themes after a lot of consultation with so many countries, including Nigeria, and from the kind of incidences and the trend of circumstances of accidents, injuries as they occur, and also the learning outcomes from the previous year, they always look at how to harness the title, the theme that will be most appropriate, which is really this year for the joining in building a culture of prevention in occupational safety and health. And that is really to address in every country that the spate of accident rates and injuries, especially at workplaces, is far beyond just chasing after fire or road. That there are lots of incidences that do happen, even in our offices, in our workplaces, our markets, schools, education institutes. So they're drawing that serious attention so that we can proactively work together to curb those accidents and injuries that are happening. And as a result, it will make life better. It will make our environment a living and a safer one. It will also translate into positive GDPs of countries. So you can see that it is a global thing, and we're so proud that Lagos State government is also commemorating this. And this is the 5th edition.
In Nigeria, investigation has equally revealed that not less than 200 cases of industrial accidents occur in the workplace daily, with an equally high rate of fatalities. 400 workers have lost their lives in the power sector in the last 2 years. In the maritime sector, over 100 cases of fatal industrial accidents have occurred, with over 10 deaths, numerous incapacitations, and innumerable serious body injuries. In the manufacturing sector, the frequency of fatal industrial accidents is very high. In response to these statistics, the Lagos State Safety Commission was established in 2011 with the mandate to assist in reducing such incidents to the barest minimum. The Commission also aims to promote safety culture through sustained public and institutional enlightenment strategies and programs, and to register safety practitioners in the state, communicate the benefit of safety culture through effective advocacy campaigns to achieve reduction of accidents, incidents, and diseases. The Commission, which also intends to build a robust and reliable statistic base to enhance preventive measures, improve workplace safety, well-being, wellness and responsibilities amongst others, has continued to develop strategies aimed at making safety a must for everyone.
According to every country's mandate, if you go into the constitution of every country, the number one responsibility of any government is to ensure the safety of its citizens. Safety in this aspect of security or physical safety in terms of work or at home, or the kind of habits and practices that we put ourselves through. Certainly Nigeria signed a treaty to the ILO, International Labour Organization, and it was necessary for us to ratify the treaties that were signed. Unfortunately, the bills that were passed being set up actually by being put together for the National Assemblies to either pass, rectify, correct, and ensure that it becomes enabling for every state and every local government in the country to absorb and implement, never came to be. And as I speak, just barely 2014 last year, towards the end of the last administration, did we hear that the bill that had been sitting in the National Assembly for over close to 20 years was just recently being passed in a rush. Now, prior to that, Lagos State, very peculiar and very outstanding in most of the things that we're doing, a center of excellence that has attracted a lot of more people all over the world. It just naturally beholds on any government in Lagos State to ensure that safety is being upheld highly. That treaty, that mandate also cascades down to the state government. And if you look at the vision of the Lagos State that we have, it's really to make sure that certainly we provide an enabling, a safe, and secure environment that is productive, because we would like to attract international investment. The state attracts quite a number of everybody all over represented in the state. We then have a larger task to ensure the safety of individual persons. It's not just the locals anymore. It includes international, multinational citizens, which means they already have a set safety standard and they expect that to be replicated anywhere they go. And so if we really must keep them, then we must really do our homework and make sure that safety is being provided, as much as possible for everybody.
Since inception, the Safety Commission has developed initiatives such as establishing safety champions in public service, mandating the private sector to establish functional health and safety HSE departments, construction manufacturing summits, and intensive safety management initiative for all schools authorities, events and gatherings in public places, and of course, food safety.
Safety is the key. In anything you are doing, you have to think of safety first. And what Lagos State is doing, the issue is that they want everybody to be safe in Lagos. And it's very compulsory that you should be aware of your environment, and we should give kudos to Lagos State because they have safety in all ramifications. They have event safety, they have school safety, and they have a lot of people that want to support them.
Annually, the Commission joins other nations to hold the annual International Labour Organization Enlightenment Campaign to prevent accidents and illness at work. The campaign, which takes place every 28th of April, is tagged the Lagos State Safety Week. Themes such as occupational safety and health management system, a tool for continual improvement, the public service, a pivotal tool for sustainable safety development in the evolution of a mega city, doing business safely, and safety and health in the use of chemicals at workplace have been employed to sensitize the people on the need to imbibe safety culture. This year's event, themed Join in Building a Culture of Prevention in Occupational Health and Safety, inaugurated safety-trained electricians in Lagos State from Licensed Electrical Contractors Association of Nigeria, LECAN, Lagos State Electricity Board, and the Lagos State Technical and Vocational Education Board, LASTVEB. The objective of this training was to stem the incidents of fire and also boost prevention culture among electricians.
It was the situation where people felt that they were comfortable accommodating hazards. Unfortunately, there was an apathy, that stood off when we started, and so constant sensitization and making the citizens understand the benefits of embracing a safety culture helped to an extent to at least take a number of people on, winning the interest and the confidence of a number of citizens, and of course also enabling them to take few actions themselves, some corrective actions, encouraging them, and so it's been that transcend, situation where apathy was the initial stage, the challenges, difficulties, being recalcitrant, and gradually to becoming more responsive, more accommodating, taking ownership. And recently, during the Safety Week that just took place, the commemoration at where the Deputy Governor, Dr. Oluranti, was, she inaugurated safety cards to electricians, licensed electricians, plumbers. These were people that did not really take safety as a key thing. And then we depend on their work a lot of times. And many times, fire incidences, 90% of them, actually the root cause of them are usually from bad substandard electrification. Maybe installation, maybe implementation, name it. So that really was a key thing for us to be able to see that we now have quite a number of people that are not only enlightening themselves, training themselves, understanding, approaching the Safety Commission to want to obtain the minimum safety requirement knowledge from the capacity building structure that we have, for them to do. And so they're implementing that. So I would say on the long run, I would say that as we are now that we've achieved 44% of awareness amongst the citizens, and our schools have achieved about 56, interestingly, because the children are more, they're more open-minded to taking up new things. And so the next stage is to ensure that compliance actually kicks in, because that's really still very low. We're waiting for government to kick us on our back.
The Whistleblow Initiative was launched at the event which held at the Adeyemi Bero Auditorium, the Secretariat, Alausa Ikeja. This initiative, according to the Director General, Mrs. Dominga Odebumi, is to ensure that safety enforcement becomes the duty of everybody in Lagos State. On the occasion, lectures were also held on such topics as safety for humanity, creation, role and impact, stress management and its relevance in the workforce, and for all its worth, life is good. The Safety Commission also has a school safety management program in the realization and concern that every school and community should take safety seriously and strive to continually achieve safety. The Commission organized safety education for students across primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions. The seminar and workshop was also held for technical college teachers on injection of safety and health module in the Lagos Technical Colleges, and a safety management conference for private schools across Lagos.
The joy deep down in my heart is that our children, the next generation, are fast complying, and which means that we would have less worry come the next set of generations coming into governance. So it's a brighter future that we've created, where we know that our children are embracing. I'll give you an example. During this holiday period, quite a number of parents that we interfaced with were telling us that the children came home with homework
that had to do with safety, and that they were to bring up 10 list of hazards that surrounded them, or through the holidays that they were able to. That made it put a big smile on my face. And I did say that, I would love to celebrate those kind of schools that are encouraging the children. But of course, without the efforts of the teachers, the principals, they couldn't have done that. And so we give, I doff my hat to the principals that have listened to various seminar programs, conferences, that they have made use of information of the 10 framework that, we 10-point framework that we have given to them.
The state government also launched safety signs and posters in the state secretariat. These were mounted in strategic places in all the various office blocks. Amongst other various signs unveiled by the commission are those for the emergency exits, fire alerts and exits, first aiders, assembly point, disabled persons exits, as well as the red, which represents a danger alarm and emergency, green escape routes, blue for personal protective equipment, and yellow, take precaution. In the continued zeal toward fulfilling its mandate, the Commission also embarked on safety compliance inspection tour of event centers, nightclubs, hotels, and other hospitality outlets in the state in order to forestall avoidable accidents. An event and gathering stakeholder safety forum was also organized to educate them on the need to ensure safety and take necessary precautions in the course of their businesses.
It was the situation where people felt that they were comfortable accommodating hazards, unfortunately. Hazards would be things, anything that could harm you, possibly, well, for example, having a pole in front of your house that is tilting. People used to find it comfortable to avoid just bypassing that. It's like that pole has a right to stand in that unsafe condition, and so it's either they don't complain about it, or they feel that their complaints were not being treated, and so there's this apathy. There was an apathy, that stood off when we started, and so constant sensitization and making the citizens understand the benefits of embracing a safety culture helped to an extent to at least take a number of people on, winning the interest and the confidence of a number of citizens, and of course also enabling them to take few actions themselves, some corrective actions, encouraging them, and so it's been that transcend, situation where apathy was the initial stage, the challenges, difficulties, being recalcitrant, and gradually to becoming more responsive, more accommodating, taking ownership. And recently, during the safety week that just took place, the commemoration at where the Deputy Governor, Dr. Oluranti, nobly was, she inaugurated safety cards to electricians, licensed electricians, plumbers. These were people that did not really take safety as a key thing. And then we depend on their work a lot of times. And many times, fire incidences, 90% of them, actually the root cause of them are usually from bad substandard electrification. Maybe installation, maybe implementation, name it. So that really was a key thing for us to be able to see that we now have quite a number of people that are not only enlightening themselves, training themselves, understanding, approaching the Safety Commission to want to obtain the minimum safety requirement knowledge from the capacity building structure that we have, for them to do. And so they're implementing that. So I would say on the long run, I would say that as we are now that we've achieved 44% of awareness amongst the citizens, and our schools have achieved about 56, interestingly, because the children are more, they're more open-minded to taking up new things. And so the next stage is to ensure that compliance actually kicks in, because that's really still very low. We're waiting for government to kick us on our back.
The Lagos State Safety Commission is constantly developing standards, guidelines, and regulations to ensure that people make safety their core values.
The commission came in at a very right time where people were actually in need of at least a government body that we can look at to as a regulator within the space of health and safety in the state. Before now, when we did have Lagos State Safety Commission, it was like where there is no law, there is no offense. But I'm happy that the government actually created a gazette that established the commission. And the commission, like you know, is still very young. They are up and doing, at least creating the structures and the framework that we all have to work with right now. Like one of such is you have to get accredited and registered by Lagos Safety Commission if you are a health and safety practitioner within the state. And this we never had before now. And what this will go a long way doing for us is to help us actually get rid of quackery and non-professionals that just hijack the profession and want to run within this space. But this I think is good, and they've been able to actually create a lot of programs that cuts across the schools, which of course is an aspect that nobody looked at before now. And that's what they are also able to create a program that run across the artisans, the people that work in the abattoirs. That's novel. A novel thing they have done. And they have been actually to run a program that run mainly on the local dialect, which of course it calls across understanding of people who cannot necessarily speak, understand good English. Even in the Yoruba language, I have a program in that direction. I think we must commend them. They've done well in these past 4 years. It's a plus for me if I must give to them. But I think though they still have a lot to do, but in all they have done, we must say thank you to them.
The Commission's activities have been vital to the sustenance of many government initiatives and the state's infrastructural and socio-economic development in line with the state's policy thrust. No doubt, Lagos State Safety Commission has made a lot of impact towards imbibing safety culture and establishing necessary instruments for safety standards in both public and private sectors of the state. Safety is important everywhere, not only in our place of work, of course, but also in our everyday activity. It is therefore important that adequate attention is paid to ensuring safety standards are met at all times.